it's Ashley Cannon Newell with you for this week's Make It Monday, and I have a fun challenge for you to use your pumpkin stamps in 3 ways: traditional, unique, or trendy. So I hope you like 3 cards that I have to share with you today, and good luck with this week's Make It Monday.
For the 3 cards I'm going to be making featuring pumpkin stamps, I'm really going to be highlighting Autumn Pumpkins, a new paper tray ink stamp set that was released for 2016 autumn released. Okay, so you can use any pumpkin stamp set for these 3 different projects for the most part. Some may or may not should have jack-o'-lantern faces on them, but that's really up to you and your style. Okay, so the first card I want to start with is the traditional way to use pumpkin stamps on a card. So of course this card is going to be very simple, very straightforward, and very traditional as far as color choices and things like that. So I have here a card, just for the sake of time, already pre-done. This is my card focal base. I use In the Woods cover plate here, and I already sponged it with different colors, you know, Scarlet Jewel, Orange Zest, Summer Sunrise, Harvest Gold, and even a little bit of Canyon Clay. And I inked it with a sentiment in Cocoa Bean, using this sentiment here from Autumn Pumpkins. And the next thing I want to do is to pretty much add my pumpkins. Alright, so I'm going to add this to a card base. This is Canyon Clay card base. So I'm just going to add some adhesive. So if you're wondering what I did here, I trimmed the frame from around the cover plate In the Woods to get this effect that the branches were just coming directly from the cardstock. Okay, so in the interest of time, I die cut a couple of pumpkins from the Autumn Pumpkins dies, and I stamped them in, this one is in Harvest Gold or Summer Sunrise and I believe Canyon Clay ink, and I stamped this one in Orange Zest, Terracotta Tile, and Canyon Clay, and the stems are in Classic Craft and Cocoa Bean. Okay, so I'm just going to show you just, of course, the traditional way pumpkins can be added to a card. So I'm just going to put this one to the side. I have foam adhesive on the back of the pumpkins and placing them right on the card. Okay, so here is my first card. Very traditional, very straightforward, very simple layout, but I wanted to show you that this is the, of course, #1 way you can use pumpkins, in the traditional way that these stamp sets were intended to be used. Pumpkins clustered together and with some sort of autumn or fall theme. Okay? For my next card, this is going to be a unique way to use pumpkins. I already have here die cut 5 pumpkin shapes from Aqua Mist cardstock. And you'll need a button or some sort of circle embellishment there, and some sort of leaf or leaves. Okay, what I'm going to be doing with these 5 pumpkins is something very unique, something very different that you will probably not think of using pumpkins for, but this will enable you to use your pumpkin stamps throughout the year. And the reason why you can use them throughout the year is because I'm going to show you how to create a flower using pumpkin shapes. So to get started, I have my card front and a bit of bitty dot vellum I'm going to be using here. I'm just going to apply the vellum to one side, and that's where my flower is going to be adhered, so you won't see it, the adhesive. Okay, and to build a flower using pumpkin shapes, you don't really need to worry about the stems. I also want to point out, when I did die cut these from Aqua Mist cardstock, I did color them a little bit with Copic markers, BG15 and B00, I believe, just to give it a little bit of dimension. okay, because these pumpkin shapes are going to eventually be the leaves, the petals, I should say, sorry, the petals of my flowers, okay? So, to get started, you just kind of figure out where you want your flower to be positioned on your card front. So I think I'm going to start about here. Okay, don't worry about the centers of the stems of the pumpkins because those are going to essentially be hidden, okay, with your center embellishment. Alright, so what you want to do is group the pumpkins together in a circle type of shape for a realistic flower look. As you can see I'm doing here, I'm just going to reposition them a little bit. I have them adhered using foam adhesive and a little bit of Tombow multi adhesive just so I can position them a little bit easier. Okay, and the last step you want is your button. I have my button already with a little bit of twine. You want to make sure your pumpkin stems are as close to the center as possible to make sure that your button is going to cover all of the stems of the pumpkins. Okay? So then you add your button. You can also use a circle die cut, would work great with this. Okay, once you have your flower assembled with your button assembled in the middle, you'll just need some sort of leaf die cut, and I took meadow greens, this particular leaf here, die cut it and stamped it a couple of times and adhere them together to get this little cluster. I have a little bit of foam adhesive on the back again, and I'm just going to tuck it right in here to create a realistic leaf look. And as you can see, I have a flower. And this is something that you can totally do with most pumpkin shapes. You just have to hide the stems. It's a really cool way to get more mileage from your pumpkin stamps throughout the year. Okay, so of course you can make this color scheme more autumn or fall-like, or you can make it something just general occasion like I have for this card. So you just to demonstrate you can use it throughout the year. Okay, so I am going to finish it off with a sentiment of thanks. Alright, and this is from Graceful Greetings stamp set. Okay, there's the thanks there and the coordinating die. Alright, so I'm just going to add the thanks right there, and my card is done. This is the totally unique way to use pumpkin stamps on a card. No one will ever know that they're pumpkins unless they remove the button, right? So this is the second way you can use your pumpkin stamps. For my last card, I'm going to show you the third way, which is a trendy way to use your pumpkin stamps. The reason why this is trendy is because I am going to be using trendy colors and trendy patterns together, as well as vellum. So the colors I'm using here are Melonberry, Aqua Mist, and Classic Craft. They are fall colors, but they are on the softer pastel side, so they're a little bit more unique and trendy than your traditional colors. I also have here pattern paper. The top half is pattern paper that I stamped myself using autumn pumpkins, the different leaves and berry images and things like that. I used the ink colors of Fine Linen, Classic Craft, Cocoa Bean, Melonberry, and Aqua Mist. And on the bottom portion I coupled it with some chicken scratch pattern paper. So this is also very trendy to mix and match patterns, papers together, and also stamp your own background. So this is another way you can incorporate trends in your pumpkin stamps. Alright, so if you wanted to use actually pumpkins on your background of your pattern paper, you could actually stamp different pumpkins as well. Okay, for my sentiment, I am using Birthday Classics October. Alright, and I stamped the sentiment directly onto the chicken scratch pattern paper right here in cocoa bean ink. On the pumpkins, as I said earlier, I stamped them on Melonberry, Aqua Mist, and Classic Craft. Okay, I paired it using this particular stamp set here, Pumpkin Expressions, so I can get the jack-o'-lantern faces on the stamp sets, which also makes it super trendy for Halloween. The last trend that I want to share with you is using vellum, and so I chose to use 2 different leaf die cuts from, this is enclosed leaf, here is the die. So I'm using that die, and I die cut it from 2 different pieces of vellum. So I'm just going to add the vellum. I already have a little bit of adhesive on these pieces here for the sake of time. And I'm just adding the vellum leaf die cuts directly to the pattern paper. Alright. So the next thing I want to do is add my pumpkins. I already have here heat embossed in white embossing powder, some little tendrils, and some little leaves here that coordinate with the pumpkins. So I'm just going to align them up so that they fit right with the pumpkins and put it right here on there. Add some adhesive to the back of my Melonberry pumpkin and add that as well, so it lines up with this particular leaf right here. To finish the card, the last thing I'm going to do is add a bit of twine, baker's twine, and I'm just going to slide it in. I already have it tied for the interest of time. I'm just going to slide it over so that the bow is on the right side here, and tuck it under the Melonberry pumpkin there. So this is the last version. Okay, so that is the trendy version, because I'm using a lot of different elements here to make it trendy, from the color combination that I'm choosing, the unique color combination, to some vellum, and mixing different patterns. So that's the trendy version. Here's the unique version, using pumpkins to create a floral motif, and here's a traditional version. So here you have 3 different ways you can use pumpkin stamps, so you can have something throughout the year. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you participate in this week's Makeup Monday and find new ways to get more mileage out of your pumpkin stamps during this fall season. I'm Ashley Cannon Newell, and I can't wait to see what you guys make. Bye!